welcome back to my channel. This is Cher, and today's video, you are going to witness how to become a webinar speaker. Yes, today I will be one of the guest speaker of the Hilltop Association of Adventist School of Baguyan City. They invited me to be their guest speaker, particularly on how to make a learning modules. So you will witness how I'm going to present my presentation about how to make a learning module, how to conduct a webinar. Yeah, how does it look like? So this is my room. Yeah, my online setup. So I have my laptop, my webcam, yeah, my internet connection. So we are just waiting for the event. So while waiting, please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel so that you will be updated with the latest video that I will be posting. Okay, so just wait for a while. Okay, so see ya. So today I will be discussing to you how to write a learning module. So before anything else, let me first, a while ago you already introduced me. So I'm Maurice Dance Bacaling. So you can call me Sir Mao. I'm teacher 3 from Santa Cruz National High School, senior high school program. And at the same time, I am one of the senior high school focal person and also one of the guidance counselor of the school. Okay, so these are our learning objectives for this webinar. So the participants are expected to distinguish the key elements in writing a learning module. And number 2, you're going to discuss the different parts of the learning module. 3, explain each parts of a learning module using a sample. So later I will show you my learning module. Yeah, and this will be used in this opening of class. Yeah. So, and then after that, you will be given time to create your own learning module. Before I will start, let me share to you this quote from my favorite author, from Paulo Coelho. I only write to understand myself better. I don't try to show how intelligent or how cultivated I am. I just try to share my soul. Sharing is part of life. I know most of you have so many questions about how to begin writing the modules, or maybe some of you are already confused and worried of the opening of the class and don't have any learning modules to give to your students. So today I'm going to reveal and share to you how to make learning modules in simple and easy way. So please observe some basic rules while I am going to discuss to you some important key points in writing your learning modules. So first, turn off your microphone, please. And then listen carefully and attentively. Write down some important key points in your journal or in your notebook. And then after my presentation, you are free to ask questions after, yeah. Okay. So when you are about to write your learning modules, I am pretty sure some of you here attempted to write a learning module, right? If so, have you ever asked yourself this following questions? Yeah. First, why I am writing this module? What are the things I need to prepare? What are my references? Most especially, have you ever asked yourself for whom I am writing? Basically, writers should know the importance of the audience or the users of this learning module. Most of those teachers or writers don't actually think of the users. They just create modules without thinking if that learning modules can easily be understood by the learners. Remember, when you start writing, you must think like a learner. Again, you must think like a learner. When your learner reads your module, he or she can manage to answer it with or without the help of his or her parent or guardian. Take note, learning module is a self-directed learning, meaning there is no teacher who will guide him or her in the discussion of the lesson. That is why it is important to note to use words that are easy to understood and easy to understand. Remember, this modules is not to show off how good you are when it comes to the use of the language, but rather it is the learner's ability to understand and learn from the learning modules with or without guidance from parents or teachers. Okay? So what is a learning module? It is a self-contained unit or package of study materials for use by the individual. So basically, everything is there already. It provides a learning activity for the learners when a group education or individual education session is not possible. Just like our situation right now, yeah, with this pandemic, most our learners cannot go to school, so it is best to provide learning modules for them. And not everyone can have the access to internet. So like in our school, most of our students would like to have learning modules rather than to have the 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 blended or the internet based learning, because they cannot have the access to internet. Yeah, so they would prefer to have learning modules. So that is basically a learning module. So what are the key elements when we talk about when we prepare our learning modules? So what are the things to prepare when you start to write this learning module? First, you must have the most essential learning competencies. I know that private schools and public schools are following the DepEd order, and I know most of you already heard about most essential learning modules. So what is most essential learning modules? These are coming from our curriculum guide, which the DepEd is providing us, and they choose learning competencies, those essentials, most essentials, and they pick that learning competencies that are essential for our learners to learn. Because of this pandemic, they try to have this this chosen learning competencies. So you must have this as your basis or your guide in crafting your learning modules. Next is references. So you should provide or have some copy or some books, journals, internet-based articles, and other sources that you can use in crafting your learning module. And most especially, you know the grade level of your learners. Yes, it is important because you are focusing on the learner. So you should know that what level or grade level that you're going to create a module. Yeah, these are the common problems writers encounter. Like they don't know um, how to start because they don't know those things that they have to prepare. Especially they need to think about the grade level, and they should emphasize and put that into themselves that the user of these learners are in this level. So when you do or when you start to craft your learning modules, you start to think that you are, for example, your grade level is grade 7. So you should think as a writer, you should think like like the like a grade 7. Yeah. So you should think that way when you start to craft because you know that the user can understand or the learner can understand at his own level. Yeah, he can understand this learning module. As what I have said earlier, yeah, there is no teacher who will guide the learner. So he can manage himself, he can facilitate himself, and he can understand what is written in that learning module. Okay, so again, the key elements are most essential learning competencies, references, it could be books, journals, internet-based articles, and other sources. So, and most especially, grade level of the learners. So if you happen, if you don't have the most essential learning competencies, you can access this one through this website, or you can have it on the DipEd Commons. So you can get the PDF file of the most essential learnings from kindergarten down to the last, the senior high school. So they have prepared all those curriculum guides and its duration. Yeah, with curriculum codes. So this could be your reference. Yeah. So let's move to the next part, the different parts of the learning modules. So before anything else, let me remind everyone that in every divisions or in every divisions or regions, they have different formats, different styles, and what I'm going to show you is the format which my division is currently using. So I know that every school has its own format and template for private schools. Yeah, you have the free will to create your own format. So unlike DepEd, we usually follow what is mandated to us, the kind of format that we are going to use. So we just follow it. But I think the private school, I think they have their own styles, yeah, format. So maybe you can also discuss it with your school administrators of what format to use. So because I think every division is trying to avoid copyright issues. So remind lang mga teachers, iwasan po natin mag-download or mag-copy-paste from the internet or from other divisions. Okay? So now I'm going to show you our learning modules format for the division of Davao del Sur. So you can modify or you can change the parts. Yeah, it depends on you because you are in the private school. So I think you have the free will to have it. Okay. So these are the parts of the learning module. First is the cover page. So the cover page contains the title, some pictures about the the learning modules. And then next is the copyright page. So copyright page usually there are some statements regarding about copyright rules, and also it will also show the publishers, the publication, the name of the author, yeah, layout artist, editor-in-chief, yeah. So this will present the copyright page. And then the introductory message. So for introductory message, you will address or you will give message to the facilitator, to the parents, and also to the learners who will be the user of this module. So you will give their general instruction for the students and for the facilitator, for the parents, on how they can guide their learners. And you can also emphasize there that the learners should provide their own separate answer sheets. And also you can also include there that students are not allowed to write on the learning module, because basically if you will let them write on the modules, I think you cannot use the modules again. So for public school, we put there do not write on the learning modules, because for public school don't have enough budget to provide that. I mean, to provide such modules. So we try to use it and reuse the modules. Next part is let us learn. So let us learn. You will emphasize here the most essential learnings, the learning objectives. So what are the students want to learn? So you can put here the content standards and the performance standards, which is specified in the curriculum guide, and the most essential learning competencies, and also the duration for that learning module. So you can put there that module is good for 1 week or 2 weeks. Next part is let us try. So let us try, basically it's like a review or a recap if the students have some knowledge or basic knowledge about the topic of the content, or it could be a review from the past lessons. And the next is let us study. For this part, you can put here, this is the content now, the content. So you can put here about stories, about your topic. Yeah. What are the topics that you have prepared for this module? So the content should be based on what is provided in our curriculum guide, the content standards. So you should also try to link, because our guide is the most essential learning competency. So you should be guided on crafting your module based on the most essential learning competencies. Okay. Next is let us practice. So this time, the let us practice now is you are trying to give some activities which is related to the most essential learning competencies. So as what you have, based on your objectives, so you provide some activities here. And then let us practice more. So these are additional activities, yeah, that will enhance and that will let the students master the competencies. And next is let us remember. This is the generalization or the summary of the lesson. Yeah. And next is let us assess, or this is the assessment or the evaluation. So you can have a short quiz or multiple choice, yeah, or a different or scenarios that the students will be able to answer it and apply what he have learned from this module. And we have here let us enhance. This is the enrichment activities. I put here optional because it depends on you if you wanted to have another activity, enrichment activity for the learners to do. Yeah. And then let us reflect. So this is the reflection part wherein you let the students reflect about the learnings he have gained from this module. So you let them, which they can apply in real life situations. And lastly is the references. So make sure that you will put the references. Yeah. In our department, in our division, we use the Chicago format, but I think you can also use the AFA format for referencing. Okay. So now I will show you the sample reference format. Actually, this is the one that I created, this module. So this is my sample format. This is the format of the division of Davao del Sur, and this is just our copy. Okay, so we just try to edit it because they provide the format, and then we just provide the content of it. So basically in the cover page, you will find the subject. So the subject that I am handling right now is disciplines and ideas in the applied social sciences. So this module is intended for senior high school students. Now I'm handling grade 11 and 12 students. So this subject is under the humanities and social sciences. So this is their specialized subject. So the title is, they put the grade level, yeah, and then the title of the subject, which is discipline and ideas, and then quarter 1, module 1, and the title of the module. So course introduction and counseling. Next is the copyright page. So as you can see, it is stated here, Republic Act 8293. So this is just a reminder about copyright issues. And then there is also part of here, the development team of the module. So writers, editors, reviewers, yeah. So this module is only intended in my school because I haven't submitted it yet to the division. But later I will show you the other modules that is already accepted in the division, and it will be used throughout the division of Davao del Sur. So other schools will also use it. Yeah. So introductory message. So here you will put a brief introduction about what is the course all about, what is this module all about. And then you will address to the facilitators, parents, and teachers. So you will have a brief, a general orientation about about this module to the parents and guardians. and to the facilitators also. And then a message to the learner. Yeah, instruction to the learner. So for the let us learn, so this is now my content standards. The learner demonstrates an understanding of social sciences and applied social sciences, disciplines of counseling, and the performance standards. The learners should be able to explain clearly public perceptions about the work of social sciences and applied social sciences practitioners, demonstrate a high level of understanding of the basic concepts of counseling through a group presentation of a situation in which practitioners of counseling work together to assist individuals, group, or community. So take note, this demonstrate group presentation is not really applicable as of the moment because we are not allowed to go outside, yeah, and meet other people. Yeah, I mean, yeah, with they are not allowed to go with their classmates. So that's why they provide this learning competencies, most essential learning competencies that are specifically intended for this situation, this pandemic. Yeah. So these are the competencies, the most essential learning competencies. So we have here clarify the relationship and differences between social sciences and applied social sciences. And with the code. So remember to put the code so that when your administrators or principal will try to observe you, or maybe they want to know if it's really I mean, the activity that you provide in your lesson is actually they met this learning competency. So this will be the guide, the code guide. And then we have the identify the goals and scope of counseling. So, and explain the principles of counseling. So I know most of you teachers already know how to achieve. I mean, these are our bases in crafting our module. So let's make sure that the content and the activities that we provide should met these learning competencies. So there should be clarified the relationship and difference between social sciences and applied social sciences. Students will be able to identify the goals and scope, yeah, and then they will be able to explain the principles of counseling. And also, you will put here the duration or the week. Yeah. For example, this module is good for 1 week, so they should answer this for 1 week. Yeah. And here is let us try. So actually, this is just my style. Yeah, the image, and then there's a dialogue because I want it to be more interactive. But my division didn't, they don't have this kind of style, but I just put it here that way because I want it to be more interactive. Like this will represent myself that I am giving them instructions. So as you can see, I put here, welcome to discipline and ideas. Yeah, yeah. And then because discipline and ideas and applied social sciences is already I mean, there is a prerequisite, and that is discipline and ideas in social sciences. So they cannot take this discipline in ideas and applied sciences without taking the discipline and ideas in social sciences. So basically, they already have information or knowledge about what is social sciences. So when they have this subject, so I put here that this is just a continuation of the subject. So it is expected that you are already grasped, yeah, basic concepts. So I use task KWL chart activity. So you put the direction. Yeah, make sure that your direction is clear. Yeah. So this activity is intended, going back to our most essential learning, clarify what is the relationship and differences of social sciences. So this is also linked to our first learning competencies. So what I know, what the students know, what the students wanted to know, and what the students learned from this, from the research that he conducted. And next, let us study. So this time, this is now the content. So I just put lesson 1, understanding, because you can separate the lesson, especially the learning competencies is very broad, and it talks about 2 lessons, the understanding social sciences and applied social sciences, and the other one is the discipline in counseling. So you put here the content, and after you put the content, you will place some questions that they need to answer if they really understood the content. So basically, I put some questions that they can answer after the reading material. So question, you can have your reference, and then what you should do, you can just have it use paraphrasing. Yeah, it's important that you know how to paraphrase some topics. So you just have to paraphrase and then put the author, the source after. So let us practice. So this time they will practice, or these are activities that will enhance the learning competencies. So I use Venn diagram activity because the objective is to clarify the differences and relationship of social sciences and applied social sciences. So this will hit that learning competency. And then let us practice more. So I use collage making for the practice more, because this collage will also target the next learning competency, which is the students will be able to explain the goals and scope of counseling. So they will try to make a collage in a one whole sheet of paper and paste that. The explanation, paste that at the back of the illustration board. So they will use 1/2 illustration. This will be the performance standard, because they can put that in an illustration board, and then they can submit that after the week 1. So you need to provide collage rubrics so that your students will be guided on how they are evaluated. Okay, so there are a lot of rubrics in the internet, and then all you have to do is just to cite them. And sometimes you can also modify. You can adapt such rubric from the internet. Here, let us remember. So this is generally the summary of the topic. So you provide a brief summary about the lesson so that the students will have a grasp of what is really the module all about. And then let us assess. So this is the evaluation. So based on this example, I let them cite a recent issue or problem in your community, or in the Philippines, because as of the moment they are not allowed to go outside. So maybe they cannot have the ability to interview, but they can have the ability to gather information from the radio, TV, or internet, and they can also focus in the Philippines. So So upon addressing the situation, answer the following important questions. So how applied social sciences, discipline like counseling and other fields help resolve this kind of problems or situation? So they will just answer it and present. And make sure that you will have your essay rubric, yeah, for you to have an easy way of grading them. Yeah. And lastly is the let us reflect. So let us reflect is basically a summary about, I mean, for the students to reflect. So I put here an image, yeah, a saying, and then they will try to explain this in relation to the topic. Okay. And lastly is the references. So these are just sample, and we are using the. I think it's easy for us to make the format because it's already when you use the Microsoft Word, there is a part there references, yeah, button. You can click there and then you put the references, and then you can choose whether you're going to use APA format or Chicago format, and it will immediately change the format. So I think it's easy to create now to have that referencing. So so that's it. But before you're going to have your hands-on activity, let me show you first my um, this is the module which I made that it's already accepted in the division of Davao del Sur, and it will be used and reproduced this coming opening of class. Yeah. So the title is Introduction to the Philosophy of the Human Person, the Doing Philosophy. So this is the introduction, message to the facilitators, parents, to the learners, and then the standard content, the duration. So I know some writers, they have their own style in writing, but I personally want when I write, I try to talk to to the learners. Like when they read, they actually I'm actually telling them about what to do. It's like you're having a story to them. Yeah, it's like you're still discussing to them. So I prefer to use the yeah. It's like a you're having. I mean, you're still conversational way of writing. Yeah. So I just want to show you how it look like when you have your learning modules. So basically, this is the let us practice and practice more. And then I put for practice more, I put a a story about from Paulo Coelho. And then you put the source. You can copy actually, and then you just put the source of that article or that content and the website. And then after that, after the story, you put some guide questions whether they understood the context in application to your learning module. I mean to the topic. And let us remember, so basically, I tried to ask questions after. The one that you have seen earlier, it's just like a summary, but for this one, I maximize the summary to add questions, yeah, for the learners to reflect, yeah, and to remember about the topic. And then let us assess. So I put some applications from real life situation so that they will be able to relate it. And then you put the rubric for the, because basically philosophy it's more on writing, so I put the rubric, yeah. And reflect. So from Socrates, then even pictures you have to cite if that is not your picture. So you have to source the source of that photo to avoid copyright issues. And their references. Some of the references I didn't put the here because it's already there in the sources. But my reference book I put here. Yeah. So that's it, the module 1, so introduction. So before the, so now we will have the, you will have to create, yeah, your own learning module. So thanks. So I am open now for questions. Yeah, any question? Yeah, do you have any question? I hope you have learned something from my sharing. Yeah. Thank you po. Any question? Before you will start to make your own learning modules, clarification, yeah. Yes? Oh. Actually, in our division, they have specified format. I mean, font style or text like Book Antigua, Times New Roman, Arial. Yeah, as long as it's size 12. Yeah. But for elementary, yeah, it should be bigger font. But for senior high school, as what I have said earlier, I think private schools have their own option. Maybe you can discuss that one to your admin, yeah, to your admin, to your principal, what format or guide. Because in our division, they really actually presented a specific format for us to guide them. But for senior high school, we're actually using Book Antigua and Times New Roman and Arial. Let's go. Okay na, ma'am. Okay po. Opo. 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 Ma'am, I have a question po. Ano po yung learning outcome po na dapat ma-achieve ng bata po? For ano po yung learning outcomes na dapat po ma-achieve niya? Hindi po kasi klaro po dito. Bali, pakibasa lang po. Opo. Pakibasa po, ma'am. Okay po. So, focus po kayo dun sa learning outcome po. Yeah, LO. Ano po yung first po? Opo. Opo. So, ano po yung activity niyo po? Ano po yung activity ninyo na for explore po? multiple choice po dito. Mas suggestion ko lang po, ma'am, dapat po kasi yung recall is more interactive siya, bali hindi sa simula pa lang hindi na siya masyadong mahirapan po, bali dapat yung interesting yung activity for the explore. Kasi po pag hindi ko naman po sinabi na hindi siya pwede, pero yung ginawa yung explore po kasi ninyo is more on quiz, like they have to identify multiple choice. So kung yung bata po pag first pa lang po niya na basa yung module, baka po isipin niya na mahirap na kasi sa simula pa lang po may quiz na agad. Opo. So dapat I suggest po is yung more on interactive, hindi siya masyadong mahirap na magiging interesado siya. Yun po yung suggestion ko. Okay. Opo. Sige po. Suggestion ko lang po for other writers po. Kasi yung mga bata kasi, ma'am, pag yung ma-notice ko pag una pa lang nilang tingin, pag nahihirapan na sila, hindi na nila nawawalan na sila ng gana na tapusin. So feeling nila ang hirap-hirap. So dapat yung mga activity natin for the first, yung sa explore po, yung recalling po, dapat po more on mainggan nyo sila na madali lang pala ito, and then progressive po siya from easy to difficult po yung paggawa. Opo, yun po yung suggestion para po sa iba rin po na mga okay po, hindi niyo po. Okay po. I said, yeah. Ganito po, ma'am. Sayang po kasi yung mga content ninyo po na marami po na nilagay ninyo kung hindi po kayo magbibigay ng question. Guide question for the content. Dahil kung may natutunan ba talaga sila, kahit po mga 2 question na kung ano yung naiintindihan nila sa content na inilagay niyo po. Kasi pag marami... Okay. And there you have it, my webinar speakership. It was a great experience because this is my first time to conduct a webinar. I am the speaker. It was really a great experience to meet other people and to share your knowledge to them. So I hope they will learn something from me, from my inputs. And I hope there will be other experiences when it comes to writing
modules and to share my knowledge to other people. And there you have it. My one day experience of becoming a resource speaker in a webinar. Okay. So have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching.